Just as a general statement, what I'd like to say is that, I meet with police officers every day. I have a coffee with the chief once a month, privately with police officers and supervisors. I meet with the labor associations usually once a month, and at the end of the day, I've been a chief for 11 years, and however you can get information about your department is always important, but make no mistake about it. Everybody in the city of New Orleans knows that we're up against a Herculean task. To reform a police department that had clearly gone off path has taken a lot of hard work, and we continue to make headways. I'm very excited to see that crime is starting to go down in the city of New Orleans. Through last week, crime was down nearly 3% year to date. We're seeing a little bit of a change in murder, which is a very positive thing for our community. And most importantly, would I want more cars? Of course. Would I want better equipment? Absolutely. Would we like more officers? Undoubtedly. But you got to know, in the city of New Orleans, we're hired this year. 12,000 officers in the nation were laid off last year. 30,000 police officer positions in the country were not filled last year. 3 weeks ago, Stockton, California laid off virtually half of their police department. Public safety agencies around the nation are suffering the economic downturn since 2008, and we obviously suffer some of that here as well.
Counter robberies, anything on that?
No, we have to get somebody who knows about that more than I do, so it's accurate. Not all at once.
Are you concerned that, I think more than 80% of the people who responded to the survey say they don't believe that the crime-fighting tactics are working?
I'm not concerned at all because crime is going down. What I can tell you is this. Whenever police officers do the work at their level, they're very spirited. They understand what they see. But when you start backing away from the level of execution and you start looking at tried and true crime-fighting techniques that have worked in cities throughout this nation that we're adopting here, we're beginning to see changes. Because it's a new change to a New Orleans police officer on the crime-fighting plan does not mean it's new to the nation, and we're starting to see some success. And the hard-working men and women this year, I'm very proud to tell you, they have increased their arrest activity by over 15% with better arrests, with smarter arrests, to make New Orleans safer. The district attorney has reported that he's seeing better product from the police department. So no, I'm not the least bit concerned if we're going in the right direction. There's no question we are going to be successful. And the public wants us to be successful. Teachers want us to be successful. Clergy wants us to be successful. Your neighborhood wants us to be successful. No question about it, we're going in the right direction.
Chief Serpas, what do you think about the PANO survey, and have you seen it now today?
I saw a briefing of it earlier this morning. Clearly, I think any source of information is important. I think that the PANO survey has issues that need to be confronted by the people who did it, methodological, that I won't get into. But I will tell you this. I get a lot of information, and there was nothing in the PANO survey that was a surprise. Do officers want more cars? Sure they do. Would they like a better work schedule where maybe they don't got to work all the time on the weekends? I would like that too, but it's the nature of our job to work 24/7. That's what you signed on for. We're going to try to make it better, but we are a special events town, so guess what happens? Sometimes we have to change schedules because we're a special event town. And that didn't just happen in 2012. It's been going on for 40 years.
How much of this is because of the budget that you guys have?
There's no question that we are still confronting a budgeting process that made dramatic error in 2010 and 2009. You remember when we first came together, we had to furlough the entire city, all employees at 10% pay cut for the last 5 months of the year to deal with budget overruns by the police department primarily. So at the end of the day, I take running this budget seriously. We're going to spend the money honestly, transparently. I want more of a lot of things like they do. We just got to make the argument to the people in New Orleans.
How much money would make it all better?
I don't know that you can ever really say that, because in every community, any one victim is one too many. So no matter how much we invest, if we still have one person who's the victim of a crime, we still got work to do.
Now, the officers that have left the force, whether it's voluntarily, they're resigning, or for whatever reason, what's happening to their salaries? Where's that money going?
We use that money to hire the new class. We also use that money to offset some of our overtime expenses so the existing officers can work and earn overtime for the valuable contribution they make to be on specific duties in our neighborhoods. There is no question, we've been taking a look at it. The amount of officers who leave every month and every year for the last 3 or 4 years has basically not changed much. It just hasn't. What has changed is that our ability to resurrect the problems, what has changed is our ability to hire, because the budgeting practices were so out of whack that now we're beginning down the path of hiring. but there has been a steady, predictable number of people who leave the New Orleans Police Department. And guess what? I've been a chief in other cities and states, and it's predictable there too. In a department this size, you're going to lose about 80, 100 people a year, either through retirement, separation, resignation, termination, disability, etc. It just happens. And that has really not changed since 2009. The only thing that changed is because the budgeting practices were so out of whack, the police chief overspent money he didn't have, that we couldn't hire people. That's what it boils down to.
Okay, you guys.
All right. Thank y'all very much.